Hello everyone, in this video we're going to draw a capybara. First we'll draw a few simple shapes for a bit of structure, then add the final drawing on top using easy line work, and then add some shading for the final result. I'll add a link for the materials used in the description below. Let's jump in. Start by drawing a big circle as a guide for the head. And an easy way to draw a circle is to first make a couple of small marks to indicate the circle's height, and then on the sides make a couple more small marks to indicate the circle's width. And then connect the small marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. And sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. Also pause the video as you follow along to draw at your own pace. And you don't have to draw a perfect circle, but if you're having trouble drawing one, it's okay to trace the outer edge of a cup or a bowl or anything else with a circular edge. Now draw a long horizontal line across the middle of the circle. And this will be a construction guide that will help you place the facial features later. And extend the line on the left side so that it's outside of the circle. And on the left side, make a small mark as a guide for the front part of the muzzle. And pay attention to the distance between this small mark and the left edge of the circle. Don't draw it too far. And then extend the mark so that it becomes a long vertical line. And then connect the line to the circle using a few sloping lines to finish the guide for the muzzle. And notice how big the muzzle is in relation to the head. It's very tall too. And on the top right side, draw a small arc as a guide for the ear. And don't make this arc too big because capybaras have small ears. And to the left, draw a smaller arc for the ear that's on the other side of the head. And then draw a couple of shorter lines to indicate the back portion of the head and also a bit of the neck at the bottom. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Inside the head, lightly sketch a small circle for the eye. And place the eye close to the top edge of the head circle. And directly above the center of the head circle. So if this is the center of the head circle, just draw it directly above that and close to the top edge of the head. And when you get the size and position of the eye right, draw a short sloping line because the eye will be half closed. So this will represent the eyelid over the eye. And then darken the bottom part of the circle for the rest of the eye. And on the left side, draw a couple of short sloping lines for the corner of the eye. And make the top line a bit thick and dark for the eyelashes. And inside the shape, draw a curved line for a bit of the iris, and then draw a tiny circle for a highlight. And in the middle, draw a slightly bigger circular shape and shade it in for the pupil. And above that, along the top part of the initial circle, draw a series of short angled lines and small strokes to create a furry texture for the top part of the eye. And this is going to be a more stylized version of a capybara, so you can exaggerate the shapes a bit. And at the bottom, draw a few short strokes as well for more of that furry texture. And inside the muzzle, close to the edge, lightly sketch a small oval for the nostril. And then darken the oval when you get the shape and size right. And add an extra line at the top for a crease. And then to the right, draw a curved line for the structure of the nostril, and shade in the nostril's opening as well. And now draw the shape of the muzzle along the path of the initial guideline. And at the bottom, curve the line to the right to create the mouth. And draw a short vertical line inside of the shape for that split on top of the mouth. And use a couple of angled lines and short strokes to create the fur on the mouth. And the mouth should end on the edge of the initial circle. And below that, draw a curved line along the path of the guide to create the lower jaw and chin. And add a few more short strokes inside the shape to emphasize the muzzle. And a couple of lines on the left side too. Darken the arc on the top right side to create the shape of the ear, but make the shape a bit pointier at the top. And inside, draw a curved line for the ear's opening, and a few short angled lines and strokes to create the furry base of the ear. And at the bottom, draw a few more short strokes and angled lines for the side of the head. And darken the shape at the top, but make it a bit more pointy for the other ear. Now darken the outer edges of the initial guides to create the rest of the head. And if you've made it this far, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Add a few short strokes as you darken the shape of the head to create a furry texture. And add a few more short strokes within the shape of the head to give the head structure. And these strokes at the top will indicate the big cheek on the head. Now erase the guidelines for a cleaner drawing. And you don't have to erase all of the guidelines. It's okay if you leave some behind. And redraw any of the final lines that you may have accidentally erased. Use a kneaded eraser to pick up some of the graphite. Now shade your drawing. You can shade using a regular graphite pencil like I've done in past videos, or you can use a charcoal pencil like I'm using this time. And go over the final lines with the charcoal pencil. I'm using a pencil with a grade of 2B, but you can use something darker like 4B or 6B. And as you shade, rest your hand on a small piece of scrap paper to prevent smudging. Add value across the head to create some shadows. Shadows will give the head more dimension and volume. Pick a light source as you shade so that the shadows are consistent throughout the head. And here the light source is coming from the top, so most of the shadows will be on the undersides of the shapes. Use a light value to shade the inside of the eye. Add a lighter value for a bit of tone on the fur. Push down very lightly on your pencil to create a light value. Go over the final lines one more time to emphasize the shapes. And add a few more strokes across the head to further emphasize the furry texture. Keep shading until you're happy with the result. And that's it for the capybara. Remember to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com for more tutorials. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. Don't forget to leave a comment, to like the video, and to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.